All right, man.
What's going on, everybody? The boys are back. It's been a little bit, and we are back for another episode of the Card Lounge. The panel got a little bit more handsome this week. We've added the Razzer himself, Mr. Devin Roth. So, Devin, you want to say what's going on to everybody?
Yeah, what's up, fellas? My name's Devin. Run a page on Facebook and got Dan and Nick and Brock involved, and we're off to the races.
Yeah.
I think most importantly, Dan, it looks like our video quality might have gotten a little bit better than our usual makeshift camera in the basement. But
we listened. Yeah, we listened to the fans, and I think it was good. So,
the people were going nuts. Like, get a new camera. This is ridiculous. All that kind of stuff. I mean, we didn't know. We're not audiovisual people. I mean, we don't know what we're doing. No, that's the whole. We try to tell them this isn't a high scale production here, guys.
Yeah. It's raw.
Hey, at least you're listening to the people. Give the people what they want.
That's what we try to do. That's what we try to do.
We always like to check in. We'll start with you, Brock Lesnar. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good.
In your Dr. Evil chair up there. I see that. That's good. And then Slick Nick, how we doing?
Doing good, man.
Good. So, Devin, we appreciate you coming on today.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah, we wanted to kind of dive right into what you do and what you have going on. And I know we've done some work together recently, but we at Pals think it's so cool what you've been able to build. And if you wanted to give a little bit of a background about that to our listeners.
Yeah, so about 3 years ago was really kind of when I really started getting into the cards. I'm a big Eagles fan. Started collecting a bunch of Eagles cards, and obviously they got good. Prices went up, and so I wanted to start selling. Problem is, selling, as we all kind of know, is like hard in this day and age. Everybody wants to pay 80%. Some people are lower, and it's just rough. So what I started doing is I started raffling off cards, especially nicer Eagles cards, not stuff you can find every day in retail packs, but especially for me, I like the Hall of Fame veteran guys. So what I'll do is if cards say $100, I'll just do 10 spots at $10 a spot, and I'll raffle it off. Everybody will take a random spot, and then I'll find a third-party runner, and they ran a random, and then the top spot on that random wins. So the last 3 years I've been kind of just growing a following, and it's just growing, and locally, especially doing the shows and that, it's just kind of taking off. And I think especially in the card community, Razzes become a main staple, especially with breaking now. It's kind of on the same scale.
Right.
So that's one of the big questions I always have, because if I'm watching one of your Razzes on there, you always say, like, you ask somebody else to find you a winner. I'm like, what? This guy can't do his own work, So that's what you're finding, somebody else to run the random and get you the winner, so it doesn't look like you're just picking somebody. Is that the reason why?
Yep. So I reached out to a third party. So I actually have a few runners on the page. One of the main runners, Nick D. He actually is a moderator of the big sports card scammer page on Facebook. So he's pretty known in the sports card community. And so that was super helpful to me to bring him on board, because he's super trusted and has been doing Razzes for a long time, longer than me. So he was pretty instrumental in bringing over to help me with that.
So, Devin, I have to ask, was there a point in time where it kind of sunk in over the last year or so, you were like, wow, I've built something pretty special here that I think could really take off? Was there that moment yet, or is it you're still just kind of,
It got to a point, so some people were trying to not copy me, but do a lot of stuff similar to me, and I could see they were struggling. I know some people sometimes go for higher end cards, and if that's your first time ever running a raffle like that and you're trying to do $1,000 card, sometimes people are hesitant in joining in. So I'd gotten slow, but yeah, I'd seen a lot of people struggling to do it, and that kind of made me like, hey, maybe I kind of have more of a following than I think here.
Yeah.
And once I started doing card shows, then it kind of became a reality of like, okay, I want to make a page to get everybody together.
Yeah, so I think just hearing a little bit about, what you've been able to build, Devin, and, the people you've involved and everything like that, we were just super excited for a chance to, work with you on a break and, get to know you more from other than just coming to some of our shows and some of the other stuff as well. So I appreciate you kind of diving into that and giving a little bit of a backstory of how you got started there. There is one awkward thing that we probably need to address before the episode goes any further. There's FBI photos of you and I at Olive Garden together, and and Nick is
Ew, Olive Garden.
Yeah, to say Nick is disgusted would be an understatement.
We both are.
Yeah,
It's like fake.
it's real fake.
It works. It works for us.
It's fast food Italian. I mean, anybody can make it. Come on.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, listen, fast is for me.
If that's what people like, that's what they like. I mean, they're making billions of dollars a year, so I'm doing something wrong, So.
Well, start baking breadsticks. Stop selling cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. So, all right, let's talk about since our last show, that was right before we were supposed to have the Berks County card show. So, showed up that morning. Everybody was pretty much set up, and then a pipe burst in the basement of the facility. So we had to, unfortunately, we had to shut her down for the day. Wasn't our best moment. Wasn't a lot of fun. We ended up turning away a lot of people. So we're gonna try it again next month. See what happens. If it gets any better, hopefully,
When is it?
It's in August. So hopefully we have no more issues, which we shouldn't. But felt bad. We had all the vendors there. They were all set up, ready to go. We were about 10, 15 minutes out, and then kaboom. No
Pretty
good.
close. I just showed up, and you were like, "Don't start setting up yet." I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah. Tried everything we could to move it, find another quick facility, but it was 100 degrees outside. We didn't want to move it outside. It was just, it's just one of those things, I guess, where it happens. You pivot and you go. We had a few vendors who were pretty PO'd at me, like I went down there and, cut a pipe open and did it on purpose, but, it is what it is. We have the next one in about a month. We're already sold out. So, I mean, that's a good thing. We probably about half the vendors said they couldn't come back in August, and we filled it with about 25, 30 new vendors who we haven't had at a show before. So looking forward to meeting those guys, seeing what we got going on. Devin has his usual 3 or 4 tables, which he'll have every auto imaginable sitting out, and people will be 3 or 4 deep at his table.
Yep.
He's having a good day when he always has to come to me and ask for change. So,
yeah, that was.
And then I keep coming back to him.
Yeah, I'm like, like I always have I didn't make a sale yet, and Devin here, I'm breaking hundreds for him.
Yeah, last show was definitely interesting. I've not had a problem like that before.
That's a good problem to have, though. So, but so Dan, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked in a world where like events and tournaments and things have had to be canceled because of uncontrollable, I'll call them acts of God. I don't know what else to call them, but I'm excited that it's sold out. It's going to be another great crowd in August there, and I think it should be a lot of fun. If I could pan here at some point, so in my office I have a display case of like my favorite Philly auto stuff, and I'm pretty sure about 6 of them are things I bought from Devin. So, that one first show at Blackjack's, I think I bought like 3 or 4 from him.
Yeah.
And then I ordered a Real Muto from him as well. So
That's great.
yeah. So my
Well,
guy.
you'll be happy to know that my NBA and MLB stuff has definitely grown.
Good.
Trying to become more rounded. So football is my forte, but plenty of basketball and baseball right now too, especially with baseball in full effect.
If you have any Allen Iverson, that's Hoff's weak point.
Yeah, it's my Achilles heel.
Well, after this show, I got something for you then.
All right.
It's pretty much name your price, Devin. So.
Yeah. So one of the things we talk about, I mean, like each week we talk about maybe like a cool card that we've picked up, or I know Brock's famous for the Mahomes Kaboom he pulled at that show.
And then we sent it back to SGC, and it got a 9 again.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, listen. You can't complain about that. From how much was that pack?
$30.
Yeah, and you pulled a $900 card. So
up to $1,500.
But Devin, I'm curious, is there anything over the last couple months that you've kept for your personal collection, or that you've come across or bought that you're just it's gonna stay with you forever?
I don't know about forever.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about cool pickups, about 2 months ago, I picked up a Mahomes auto. So it's my biggest card to date. My whole plan with that is back to Razzes, is to use that as the next upcoming shows as advertising. So it'll be there at your guys' show, and you'll get to see it.
Nice.
And my plan is grow the page out a little bit and razz that off. Usually probably do $1 spots for that. Do something big, 1,000 spots at $1. But that's probably by far the most coolest pickup that I've had. Obviously,
spots.
he's on par. Yeah, he's on par with Brady right now. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Couldn't three-peat though.
Couldn't three-peat. I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking of football, we're kind of right in the thick of the beginning of fantasy football, some drafts and everything. Guys getting underway. I'm not huge into fantasy football, but I play a league or two just to kind of make things interesting. So I wanted to ask you, because I know Devin, you play as well a little bit, and
Yep.
Are there any times where, like, throughout the season, where you've ever had a player who has really helped you win maybe a league championship? Or I have buddies of mine who will like go buy that guy's jersey then, or they'll like go buy like an auto framed picture. I've done it myself with throwback here. Kenyon Drake won me 4 leagues one year. When he was on the Cardinals, he had like a 3-week crazy stretch. So I actually have a Kenyon Drake auto. But I don't know, like, is that something that you ever come across, or, like you ever think about?
Yeah, that's actually super popular. It's one of my busier times of years right after the season ends. Fantasy football, a lot of guys are texting me, hey man, you got an auto of Derrick Henry or an auto of Jonathan Taylor. Obviously the running backs and receivers are super popular, but a lot of times they want me in my fantasy football league, and I want to collect one guy of each player. I know that's a punishment too. I know a lot of guys do punishments where after you guys draft, you get an auto of one player that you draft on your team, and whoever wins the league gets all the cards at the end of the year. So that's something I thought about too. But that's a pretty cool idea. So I think the autos for fantasy are very popular.
Yeah. I never heard of that, doing it that way, but thinking about it, like, that would make it kind of interesting.
Yeah, if you get like 10 people, $20 cards,
Yeah.
Cards sometimes a little sweeter than money.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So is there any products that you guys are excited about coming out, or things that you want to keep an eye on? I know we just did a break with the Score, football boxes, and it went well, but is there anything else that's kind of on your radar?
I mean, we have, and we'll be putting this on the page soon. Some of the products we got coming up. We're gonna look to do Select 24.
Optic, maybe.
Maybe look into some optics. Right now the optics are high for the price point. So we're, maybe, next, like, 2 or 3 down the line, maybe look to getting some optics if that's what people want. We're going to do what people want and try to, keep filling these breaks. That first one we did last week, it was the first break we ever did. We thought it was we approached Devin and we said, what do you think's a decent product? We have some of this. And he's like, let's do it. And I think for right now, it came out well. I think people were pretty happy with it. Besides again, Brock and I's camera work is absolutely horrible. Half the time you could see, some of the stuff. Half the time you couldn't see any of it. We're both short, so our arms are like a foot long, and we're trying to hold it out so far in front of the camera, and you can't hold it out far enough. So it's we learned that it's not as easy as what you think it is, and keep trying to keep the pace up and make sure people see the stuff, but yet keep them interested because they don't want to see every little card, but yet you can't run through them, really fast either. So, we had a lot to learn from the breaks, but I thought it was fun. I like doing it. Hopefully we keep filling them and keep getting better and better product and get some cards in these people's hands without, at a decent price point for them, without yelling and screaming all the time. That's one thing I can't stand watching some of these breakers. It's like, come on, just relax a little bit. So, I mean, Devin, how do you think it went?
I think it went good. Overall, all the feedback was extremely positive. Yeah, I would think you can always go back and rewatch what you did and think of things you can do better. And that's the good thing about it, is just keep growing,
Yeah.
It's just about getting good products for people, being competitive in your pricing, and just staying consistent, making sure that you're holding up to your brand. That's one thing I've always tried doing, is just use my brand, and always kept that super important. Shipped every week, make sure everything's protected. Everybody gets everything that they win.
Yep. And that's like the biggest thing that we try to pull in, either if we're doing, no matter if it's a show, in-person show, a show and whatnot, or just, a bunch of our eBay sales and stuff, is we might not make as much as we wanted on it, but we're getting pretty much advertising for the brand. And that's what we're like, even with our live shows, we're trying to really let people know the brand and see the brand. That way, when they see it, they'll, that, it was fun. Let's go back and do that one, type thing.
Like those breakers who they pull like Jaden Daniels rookie card, base rookie card. Oh my god. And then they don't care when they pull one of one Jaden Daniels auto.
Yeah, it's a show, and some people want to see that, and that's fine. That's just not our cup of tea. I'd rather, instead of having a bunch of flashy lights and and all that, I'd rather spend that money on getting a better product and be able to sell it a few bucks cheaper for the people.
It's not a disco party.
So they can get get in on something good and fun, and and hopefully keep coming back, and that's our goal. We're going to do, like I said, Select. We're going to do 2024 Select. We have a case of blasters coming in for that, with the silver die cuts in them, and the shocks.
Zebras.
And then what was the other? I forget the other one. The contenders. We just bought two hobbies of contenders last night. That should be in this coming week, and so hopefully.
And they're fairly new.
Yeah.
Popular right now.
Yep. Yeah.
Zebras are in Select.
Yep. Yeah, zebras are in Select. The contenders are cool because they have those game tickets. And I know Brock likes those.
Yeah, I might have to open one.
No, you can't. So,
You can buy into the break, but
yeah, that's part of the problem is we have all those cases and stuff here now, and Brock's gonna try ripping, So, um, so speaking of selling stuff, we bought a collection off of a local guy here a few weeks ago, and it was a bunch of pretty much what everyone considers junk wax. Just some were open wax boxes, other ones were sealed. I honestly thought like I had them sitting on a shelf for like a few weeks. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put them on eBay. They're gonna take forever to sell, type thing. Blah blah. I think I put 15 boxes up on Friday at like 5 o'clock. They were all sold by 8 o'clock that night. I'm like, oh, did I did I mark these things too cheap or what? But it was just like I think people are just looking for that now, and anything sealed. I mean, what's your guys? I mean, I love vintage stuff and junk wax. I think it's cool because that's what was big when I was a kid. I know Dan is always saying, what was it? If it's not gloss, if it's gloss, it's boss, and all that. Devin, do you like the old stuff? I mean, like, do you like junk wax or no?
Not personally, not a whole lot. Honestly, personally, I haven't been big into wax in general. I don't rip a whole lot. I like buying my cards. But to each their own. I think I don't know. It all depends why you collect. Like everybody has their own reasons. Some people, it's all about collecting the sets and having the cards, and that's perfect for them.
Yep. No, that's cool. Yeah, totally agree with you. But yeah, like I thought these things would sit forever, and they're flying. So and I look on there, and they sold for pretty much what all comps were selling for that. But I mean, like I still have more to put on there, and I'm like, oh, I need to go buy boxes of shipping and stuff. And I was searching the house looking for boxes. I just didn't think it'd be that big of a thing, but apparently people want it. They like it.
Do you think that people that do local shows like we do, you think that they'll buy it more often because they think they can move it? Like, how you go to shows and there's just people with 3 tables and it's just all sorts of different products.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of the stuff that I was, because I did the day before that, we have a few that were open. So I didn't want to, I'm like, I can't sell those that are open. So I did a show, whatnot with just dollar wax packs. And, guys were buying it by the box. Like, hey, we'll buy the whole box. And it's just like, what do you mean? They were saying, no, we use them for a lot. Some they use them for giveaways. Other people actually rip them. One guy was like, I need 1 pack because I have a box that's open and I just want to fill it. And I need 1 pack of that to fill my box, because he was looking for, it was like 82 Topps football. And he's like, I have 39 packs of it. I need 1. And I'm like, oh. So I don't know if they were just pure collectors, which might have been, because because I was like, are you guys going to rip these open them? And some were like, no. I think they just, whether it be, they just want to have like one of every year, maybe, I don't know. But, there were a few people on there just looking for certain ones. And I was shocked by that. I'm like, I just thought it was going to be people are just going, because they're just bored. They want to spend a few bucks just to rip stuff open. But most of the stuff, they're like, oh, we're not ripping it.
Yeah, I mean, there's I don't know. In my opinion, there's nothing better than getting a sealed box and ripping it open and tearing through it. It's fun. But one of the things we like to do on here, Devin, and I wanted to get your opinion on, was we kind of always like to, the next season coming up, which is football. I know we're in the thick of baseball right now, but if there's any rookies or college NIL players that you kind of have your eye on for maybe a long-term investment, maybe a quick flip, if there's players that jump out, that you've kind of been keeping an eye on in terms of football.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of one of the cool things. Football's a lot like the stock market as far as the card world goes. Things go up and down. Actually, at your guys' last show, I bought a Drew Aller auto off of Brock.
Nice.
He's someone that I've been stashing. So I'm a Penn State fan, but I also think
Just
that
wait,
he
I have
has.
another one.
Yep. So I think he has pretty good odds of potentially being a number 1 overall pick this upcoming year.
Yeah.
If you want Nick Singleton, I have Nick Singleton too.
Yep. Singleton's good, but yeah, Drew Aller's one of those guys that I think you can get his autos for, $60-$70. And so he's a good one. NFL wise, I know obviously a lot of the rookie cards haven't come out. Amari and Hampton for the Chargers, I think he can have a really good year. Najee's starting off on the injured list, it looks like, from a 4th of July incident. So yeah, I really like Amari and Hampton. I think Caleb Johnson, the running back from the Steelers that they drafted out of Iowa. I don't think the Steelers have a whole lot of running back help. I know they got Gainwell from the Eagles, and they still have Warren. But yeah, I like Colston Loveland. I know the score boxes that we ripped, his autos are pretty cheap. Be the 10th overall pick for the Bears. I really like that.
Yeah. Speaking of Loveland, I mean, like I said, I just put some stuff on eBay yesterday, and it was just inserts of him. Figuring, all right, these are going to sell for like 25, 50 cents or whatever. People are bidding him up, just the base stuff, I think people are just excited about him, Somebody for Williams actually throw to.
Yeah. And NIL wise, Dylan Raiola from Nebraska is another one. Everybody's talking about Arch and how his prices are skyrocketing, but I think Dylan only being a sophomore, I think, especially this year, he was supposed to be highly touted. I think for his price points, I like that pickups right now.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna find out quick if Arch has it, because I think it's I forget what week it's second week. They're up at Ohio State, I believe.
It's week 1.
Is it week 1?
Yep, yeah. Lee Corso retires on college football game day for that game.
Yeah, we're gonna find out if he's the hype. Going into Ohio State, not easy place to go. I hate saying that, but it's the truth. So
they lost a lot of talent from the draft. Texas did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. So Dan, who you targeting? Who you going after?
So it's funny. I mean, we've talked about Will Howard, but another guy, and I mean, being a huge Penn State fan myself, I do think this guy is going to have a great NFL career is Tyler Warren.
Mm-hmm.
I think in that system, I think he could be one of those guys where, he could be like a favorite around the league, like that guy in fantasy football that a lot of people draft, or, because he just plays so hard and he's so versatile. So
he's almost like a second coming of Dallas Clark.
Yeah, 100%. And look, and he's on the Colts, which is ironic.
And he wears 44, right?
Yeah. So, but I love Devin. I love the Raiola. He's at Nebraska, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's a good one. And then as far as Drew Aller, so I actually was reading this article on ESPN today. It had 14 players that could go number 1, and it had their percentage next to them getting drafted number 1 overall, and Drew Aller was 17% to potentially be drafted number 1 overall. So we'll see. I mean, he's got all the physical tools and attributes, but so I love that you mentioned him, because I literally just saw that article today. And he was like 3rd or 4th highest odds to potentially get drafted number 1.
Yep. College football has a lot of stars in it right now. It's an exciting year, especially with the NIL. I know a lot of people look at it kind of a down thing, but for us in the card world, more autos, more numbered cards, I think it's kind of good for us. Jeremiah Smith for Ohio State,
He's best receiver. I think he's better than any receiver that went out in this year's draft class too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to make of Travis Hunter. I don't know if he's going to be, is he going to play offense? He's going to play defense? Is he that, much of a hype at in the NFL level where everybody's a phenomenal athlete. I don't know. So, and plus it's Jacksonville. I mean, you hate to say it, but it's just like it's almost like a mush place. Everybody who goes there is just like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just not a lot of excitement there.
No, and their coach didn't get off to the best start to his career there either. With that,
Duval.
So all right, so we're talking about players we like. What about new products coming out? I mean, you got, like I said, you're going to have some more NFL stuff. You're on a little bit coming out now, but most of it's going to wait until after the season. You just had I think Select NBA just dropped, or it's dropping. With what do you think about getting a Donick Lakers jersey card? Is that important, or is that just more
yeah, I think the NBA is another one this year. I think just year after year with the amount of turnover that they have. The collect thing, I don't know. With the Doncic collecting, I know Wemby just got cleared back for activities. So anybody that was collecting Wemby, I'm interested to see what happens with those prices. They had gone down for a while. A lot of people are comparing his situation with Chris Bosh, I know. And so it'll be interesting to see all around. If there's any products I'm interested in, since I don't rip a whole lot myself, I can tell you which products I'm excited for to come out to buy. Impeccable is always something that I've always liked football wise. Impeccable and Immaculate. So those are always the two products I'm always excited for to see the new cards that come out.
Cool.
Immaculate even more so. I like the game use patches and stuff.
Yeah, can't go wrong with them. Is it me, or to me this year NBA was just kind of, I don't know if it was because last year everyone was so hunting Wemby's and it was so excited. This year it just seemed like there really wasn't anything there. It seemed like the most exciting thing was when Luka got traded to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Do you think because the top two prospects were overseas prospects that it affected the card market at all?
Well, I think the rookie class in general this year was I mean, and not I think the numbers have kind of matched up to it. This was probably one of the worst rookie classes in a while. Was this past season? I mean, not that I don't love him and he's our zesty point guard, but Jared McCain was the Vegas favorite to win Rookie of the Year like a month into the season. There just was not that big time instant impact rookie that you could hitch your wagon to, like previous years with like Wemby and everything like that. This class obviously has a guy that I think first I think there's 3 or 4 guys that could be franchise savers, but Cooper Flag, in my opinion, is, the
think
real.
he's a franchise saver though.
I do. I think Cooper Flag. So my favorite story about Cooper Flag was Carmelo Anthony was on a podcast with Jason Tatum and a couple other guys, and they had talked about how old they were when they got to join Team USA and like live play in Vegas and like go against them. And they were all like, yeah, I was 18, 19. And they said, yes, only one 17-year-old has been able to do it over the last like 15 years. And at first Tatum, because Melo said it, Tatum was like, yeah, Bron. He's like, no. He said it was Cooper Flag. He said it was Cooper. They brought Cooper Flag in as a 17-year-old. And he was absolutely eating some of those guys up. So, I don't know. We'll see. You never know. Anything can happen, but I think he's got a shot to really do it. So
he's on a good team to do it too. Mavericks have a great supporting cast around him.
Yeah. So, but well, Devin, I appreciate you coming on and being a part of this. I think we're we're going to be seeing a lot more of you, with some of these breaks and some of your brilliance with the Razzes. So,
Yeah, I'm super excited for everything that we're gonna hopefully get to accomplish. Yeah, I just think that it's kind of wide open for just. I like to do a lot of smaller cards. A lot of people are into downtowns, uptowns, the kabooms, and that's fine chasing $1,000 cards, but it's an expensive hobby.
Sure.
I like being known that like we're a little on the cheaper end, and especially for the people starting off, and there's more and more of them every day. I like how we can be on the smaller end and get to people as they're beginning in the hobby.
Roughly how many people are requesting to be on your page? Like every week, are you getting a few, some new people in there all the time?
So roughly the last few weeks we've been at about 10 new members a week.
Okay.
Nice.
Right at 550 members, we started the page March 31st. So it's been about 3 months now. We're almost, getting close to 600 members.
Wow.
So It's been a very organic grind. A lot of people are local to me. A lot of people from shows that I've met. That was super important for me, is just create a community of people I know and can connect with, and they can put my face to the breaks that they're getting into. And
no, that's awesome. That's the way to do it. Just word of mouth. It's people you can trust. They want to be there. It's just not a bunch of scammers, anything like that. I think that's awesome. That's why we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, and it's a good balance. I mean, obviously, you guys are family guys and have stuff going. It's tough, like being involved in anything and everything. So it's kind of cool to team up and be able to tackle different projects and have one goal.
Definitely.
So cool.
All right, guys. Well, another great episode of the Card Lounge. Devin, is there any final thoughts you want to share before we kind of sign off here?
Just come see me at next couple shows coming up. I'll be hanging out with Nick and Dan at all their shows. Come check out all the autos I got. Join Roth's Razzes page. Get into Pal Sports Card Break.
Awesome. Yeah, so just you can find Devin. Go to our website, palsportscards.com. It lists all of the shows. If you want to meet Devin in person, perfect place to do it. If you're on the Eastern PA side type thing, or like he said, on Facebook, search for Roth Razzes, or one of our. You can go to our Facebook page and you send us a message. We can loop you right through to him. I'm telling you guys, he has good product. I mean, usually when we need stuff, I used to just text him and be like, "Hey, do you have any of this? I'd rather buy it off of you, because it's good stuff." I mean, he always has the crowd. Always
new inventory every day. A lot of autos. That's the one thing that I love. So
yeah, they do. They look cool. I mean, your table looks good when it's put out.
Well, I appreciate it.
I'll give you that. So, I got nothing to say. I got no parting words. Like I said, we're just trying to make this a little bigger, a little bit better every time. Hopefully we'll probably make Devin be. You'll probably see more of him on here too, part of the old, part of the round table. So,
heck yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Yep, appreciate you. So,
all right, guys. Thanks again, Devin. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
See you, Brock.
See ya.